Hi there guys, and welcome back to a brand new match preview here on the channel. My name is James, and today we're going to go ahead and sit down and talk to you guys about Reading's upcoming fixture against Birmingham City. That's right, the League One season is just a couple of days away, and 24 teams are full of optimism, 24 teams are full of hope, but unfortunately for Reading, we have been given the worst possible start. That's right, Birmingham away from home is the toughest fixture any club will face this season, and we've got it first. Now, Birmingham really shouldn't be in League One if we're being completely honest. In my opinion, they're only in League One last year because of the appointment of Wayne Rooney and the real form that he took them in last season. Now, their off-season this year has been outstanding, and pre-season results and their transfers in have been just a dream for what Birmingham fans must have been wishing for. A 2-0 win over fellow League One competitors Shrewsbury, a 2-1 win over Scottish title challengers Rangers, and finally a 4-1 win over last season's Championship playoff semi-finalist West Brom. Now, when you take a look at pre-season, normally we say that results don't really matter, but when it comes to the last game of pre-season, I think that's where it does. Teams normally want to get off on a strong foot, they want to carry on momentum through to the season, and it's normally the last opportunity for teams to figure out their starting 11. Well, Birmingham went ahead and smashed Championship opposition West Brom by 4-1. Now, new manager Chris Davies has come into the side this year. He's 39 years old and is the former assistant of Brendan Rodgers. He spent a little bit of time at Reading previously. He was a youth player here and obviously was alongside Brendan Rodgers when he was the number 2 at Reading. He was also Ange Postecoglou's assistant last year at Tottenham, and he's obviously now making that step up to be the number 1 and the head honcho in charge. It'd be interesting to see what Davies does this year. I think he will be successful personally. I think he's going to have an outstanding season as Birmingham's manager, and in his maiden season, I think it will be very successful for him. It'd be interesting to see when he faces difficulties, as he's now the guy in charge. He's the one that needs to make the decisions himself. So it'd be interesting to see what happens when he's got difficult decisions to make himself. But I'm sure he's got the right staff around him that is going to be able to advise him and tell him what to do. He's obviously someone that's been in that position where he's telling people what to do previously and giving advice. So I'm sure he will be successful. Now, when you take a look at what transfers Birmingham have done this window, they have made some really fantastic signings. Now, over £10 million has been spent in League One, and off the top of my head, I'm pretty sure that is the most money that has ever been spent in the third tier of English football. Christoph Klaaer is one that came in from Darmstadt. He's a centre-back. Willem Williamson is coming as well from Go Ahead Eagles. He sits in that number 10 position. Emil Hansen from Hercules is a left winger. Alex Corran from Hearts is a left back. Ryan Alsop is a goalkeeper who came in from Hull. Alfie May, the striker from Charlton. And finally, Mark Leonard from Brighton is a central midfielder. Now, more in particular, I want to touch on the last 2 signings. I think these 2 are massively important. Alfie May is someone that always scores goals in whatever division he's in. In League One, the last couple of years, I'm pretty sure he's got 20 plus goals for Cheltenham and Charlton the last couple of years. So he will be someone that will be absolutely itching to go, and I'm sure he will once again break that 20 goal barrier. Mark Leonard as well is an absolutely fantastic signing. He's been at Northampton for the last couple of years and has been somebody for me that stands out in the midfield. I would love for a Reading to have picked him up last year, but he returned back to Northampton on loan and had another successful spell there. And for picking him up for only £500,000, 500k is an absolutely fantastic bit of business. I think Birmingham have really built a squad that can contend in the Championship instead of contending in League One, and I think we will see them absolutely storm the league this year. Now, when you take a look at Birmingham's side, in particular, I think their attack is something that is the most dangerous. The likes of Siriki Dembele, they've got Miyoshi, they've got Tyler Roberts, they've got Alfie May. I mean, look, Lukas Jukovic always causes a problem against Reading every single time we come up against him. I think Birmingham are going to be absolutely outstanding this year, and obviously pre-season I think kind of backs that up as well. Now, in terms of injuries coming into this game, Lee Buchanan and Alfie Chang are out for this game, and Christian Bielik is someone that is going to be a doubt for this fixture. Bielik obviously was a Arsenal youth player, spent a bit of time at Derby. I think Birmingham picked him up from Derby as well. He actually got injured against West Brom, and he's a doubt for this fixture. It's good news for Reading, if we're being completely honest, as I think Bielik again is another quality player and shouldn't really be playing in this division. I think a lot of the players that Birmingham have been able to keep hold of are here for the long term. They're here for the project. They know that it's going to be a successful season, and realistically, they probably already know that they're going to be promoted. And look, I think it's going to be really hard for any team that goes to St Andrews this year. Now on the Reading side of things, we're looking at Jarrell Dorset and Kelvin Abrafa both facing late fitness tests. Jarrell Dorset, obviously Reading's starting left back, who hopefully should be back for this game. He's missed a lot of pre-season and hasn't really had too many minutes. Kelvin Abrafa at right back as well. He's Reading's second choice right back. Andy Yeardom, normally the first choice player. He's Reading's club captain, but is going to be out for the start of the season. We're probably going to be looking at Michael Craig or Tavonge Rashisha playing in that right back role. They've both been filling in there in pre-season, with Michael Craig getting the nod in the whole game. He actually had a really good game, so I probably wouldn't be surprised to see him start on Saturday. Realistically though, Reading have had a decent pre-season as well. 3 wins over championship oppositions, with our last game being a 2-0 win over Hull. This is a tight-knit group, and this is their second year working together. Ruben Selles has really matured as a coach from last season. I said this in my preview for the season as well, that Ruben Selles is somebody that isn't now afraid to change his tactics. He was very stubborn towards the start of last season, whereas this year and towards the back end of last year, we saw him adapt and we saw him change, and I think that's what we'll continue to see this year. I think it will be a difficult fixture for Reading, but we do have the quality to be able to hurt Birmingham if they do slip up. The likes of Femi Aziz and Kelvin Ehebachaman will be really dangerous on the counter-attack. Harvey Nibbs and Sam Smith always have a great partnership, and Lewis Wing is one of the best central midfielders in the league. So if Birmingham aren't up to their A game, I think Reading do have the quality to be able to punish them, and they do have the quality to be able to give them a shock. Do I think that will happen? I don't think so. I do think Birmingham will win this fixture. I'm going to go with a 2-0 win to Birmingham, but I think if they're not on their A game, and if they're coming into this game a little bit sloppy and, expecting to ease into League One, I think they're going to be in for a little bit of a shock. I genuinely do. I think Reading are a good side. Seen a lot of the media speculating that Reading might go down this year, or Reading will be a bottom half of the table side, and really, I think that's ludicrous. I really do. If you're going to predict Reading to be relegated this year, I think you need your head wobbled a little bit. Reading aren't going to be relegated this year. The ownership situation has started to be sorted. It should be done by the end of this month, realistically. And you look at the squad Reading have got over the last 30 fixtures of the League One season last year, ended up finishing in 7th place. And I think Ruben Selles has got this tight group. They've got a side that wants to work for each other. And look, I think realistically, this side will work for each other. And if Birmingham aren't on their A game, Reading can punish them. Now that's going to be it for this video today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. My name's been James, and we'll go ahead and see you again soon. We'll probably next time see you for the review of the Birmingham game. So yeah, that's going to be it for this one. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.